of time, I never know what to say at this part of the show. This is Paula Jedi, this is Outta Time. Today you need to watch the video. I have some interesting evidence to show you, some pictures, and a big shout out to my #1 fan, Andy, aka Dead Bear Rising. He has been an awesome supporter of the show. And speaking of support, before I start my discussion about earthquake predictions, I want to let you all know that as an American citizen, I do love my country, but not my government. I therefore fully support Anonymous. If you don't know who they are, I can simply say that they are dedicated to revealing the truth behind corrupt governments and corporations around the globe. Governments and corporations that do nothing but benefit financially from the suffering of citizens. This includes profiting from our health problems and their evil agenda of removing the middle class by making them poor. But this is not a political show, so please keep listening. Just Google Anonymous, show them some love because they are trying to better humanity. As some of you know, Italy experienced a 5.5 magnitude earthquake on August 23rd. I'd like to first express my deepest condolences to families who have lost loved ones in this terrible disaster. It really is a tragedy. I did have a hunch that this was going to happen though. On my website, microsingularity.net, I posted an article entitled 2015, where I mentioned that Italy was due for a quake. Even Nostradamus predicted a quake in Italy, which I will show you right now, so please look at the screen. I'll read it to you. I'll read the English translation. You're seeing on the screen the French and the English. So this is Nostradamus, Quatrain 1072. The sloping park, great calamity, through the lands of the West, and Lombardy, which is Italy. The fire in the ship, plague and captivity, Mercury in Sagittarius, Saturn fading. The only problem is that November is when Mercury is in Sagittarius, and this is August. So the question is there a bigger Italian quake coming? Or maybe even a quake in Florence? Why Florence, do you ask? I've been reading and studying the books Alas Babylon and Mr. Atom by Pat Frank. And I feel that this author makes predictions in his book. And he has mentioned Florence a lot in both books. So do your homework, read these books, they are fun to read. So if anything, you'll just have something good to read, even if you don't believe me about the predictions. This comes to my next point. I feel that there is going to be a huge earthquake along the New Madrid fault line in the United States, in Arkansas, very soon. This is a logical prediction, not a psychic one. So I don't have a specific date for you. People always want dates, but I don't have one. I originally thought it was going to be 2015, but obviously that didn't happen. Pat Frank outlines a safe zone in his book Alas Babylon. Now check this out. I have a map for you. I highlighted the Midwest safe zones in gray. Pat Frank provided more intricate detail in his book about the borders of this zone, and he didn't mention it as a safe zone. That is a conclusion I have come up with. I simply filled in each one by state because I was just being lazy. So if you read the book, you'll get more detail. Now, the fault line map I am showing you right now, you can see precisely where the New Madrid fault line is. And look at the areas in gray that Pat Frank provided. Coincidence? It doesn't mean California and the Northwest aren't safe, but Mr. Pat Frank focused on Texas and everything to the east of it. Another concern I have is that there are 2 nuclear power plants near the portion of the New Madrid fault line that goes through Arkansas, and there are also rivers near these power plants that connect to the Mississippi River. Can you imagine the devastation if nuclear waste spilled in these rivers? And what's worse is that an earthquake can temporarily cause the Mississippi to flow north, which is backwards. So we could potentially have an earthquake that destroys nuclear power plants, that dumps nuclear waste into a river that flows north, and then back south when it's done. I really hope this doesn't happen, but this concerns me. So mark my words. Arkansas is due. You can read my study in more detail at microsingularity.net. I have 2 articles under blog about the earthquakes. One is entitled 2015. The other is called 2015 Earthquake Part 2. Obviously, they didn't happen in 2015. There you can see that I predicted the Italy earthquake as well, and I've left links and details about Arkansas. Last week I talked about penis transplants. This week I'm talking about a real head transplant that is set to occur in 2017. According to Newsweek, Italian surgeon Sergio Canavero is ready to give a man a new body by transplanting his head and brain. The man who volunteered for this procedure has a disorder where his muscles are deteriorating, and he really wants a new body. This whole procedure is extremely risky if he survives. How is the brain going to react to all these new nerves? Will he be in a coma for a while? Will he be in severe pain? Will he go crazy or have seizures from all these new connections? It's something to think about. I do wish him and the surgeon the best of luck, though. Finally, a fifth force of nature might have been discovered at the University of California. The current forces are gravitational, electromagnetic, strong nuclear, and weak nuclear. The fifth force has been dubbed the dark force and is a subatomic particle possibly related to dark matter, which accounts for 85% of the universe's mass, or so they say. How exactly can they get a percentage when we don't know how big the universe actually is? If the universe is ever expanding or infinite, then how can we come up with 85%? Is it 85% plus? Something to think about. I'm sorry, but we are out of time. I have a special video about Donald Trump and a 411 event mentioned in Back to the Future 2. So go check that out on my channel. Please like and subscribe, and read Alas Babylon and Mr. Adam by Pat Frank. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. Bye-bye.